All right, everybody, I'm here with Drew, one of our fitness business mentors clients. Been in the program for just over 3 months, and this past week got his first big ticket sale, paid in full 15K. And before we even dive into that, Drew, just give us a little bit of a background, your coaching background, and what you've been doing online.
Yeah, so in regards to coaching, I'm 26 years old. I'd say I've been a coach since I was about 20 years old. But actually having a business, I've only been a full-time coach for a little under 2 years now. I started basically in January of last year. Before that, it was coaching friends, coaching coworkers,
Sure.
uh, getting experience as a coach and helping people get results. But full-time as a coach, it's been about 2 years now. And prior to joining Fitness Business Mentors, I was obviously doing a lower ticket offer like most coaches in the industry do. I was charging about $400 a month, was the highest that I got on my old offer. And we were really working with, I guess you could say, Gen Pop men. So we were working with the general population of men. And yeah, I've been creating content for a while as well on Instagram too, which is where most of my clientele was coming from before. I built up about a 10,000 follower page on Instagram, which is where a lot of the clients were coming from, and just word of mouth, of course.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's where we're at with coaching and everything. But I do want to say I've been like very deep into the world of fitness, nutrition, and all of that for well over 6 years now. And honestly, even before that, like before I was even coaching people, I coached myself in competitions and stuff. So
Sure.
it's been a long time that I've been deep in the game.
So knowing some of the growth that you had, some of the things that you were doing, you came in and you've had some assistant coaches that are working with you, and you've started building that business. What was the thing that was missing for you before joining? And I guess kind of rephrasing that is before we started working together, what were the biggest things that you were running into that were challenging?
So yeah, I had built up to, right around a $10,000 per month business. I had an assistant coach working under me. So I had kind of shifted the model some to where I was only working with about a handful of clients, and the rest of my clients were going to my assistant coach. And that was so I could scale faster and spend more time on the business side of things.
Yeah.
And the biggest issue that we were running into is the quality of clients. And what I mean by that is, on Instagram, you can't really control who comes across your feed. You can position yourself, and I know how to do it now. But before, I was just posting pretty much general fitness content with a very masculine vibe. Like that's all it was. I wasn't doing any intentional marketing or any intentional positioning. And so we were just running into the issue of low quality clients who would sign up and then almost immediately after say, "Hey, I was caught up in the moment. I can't afford this." Or after a few months, they're like, "Hey, like this isn't for me. These goals aren't as important as I thought it was." Decline payments, just people who aren't taking themselves that seriously, and a
Sure.
lot of people who aren't willing to invest in themselves.
Sure. But before coming in with us, what were some of the other things you were trying, right? I know you were doing some stuff on your own. You've worked with some other coaches. Can you kind of fill in what that process looked like that led you into eventually coming into Fitness Business Mentors?
Yeah, yeah. So for me, it started when a friend of mine actually started his coaching business and he started to get successful. I'm like, "Hey man, what are you doing?" Like I wanted to schedule a call with him to like talk
Yeah.
about what he was doing. He's like, "Dude, don't waste your time. We don't need to talk about this. Just sign up for this coaching that I've been in." And so I started with a separate business coach who taught me how to kind of get things off of the ground and get to that like $10,000 per month mark. Um, and so it was honestly very much the same strategy that you guys teach, just on a different level and not as refined.
Sure.
Not as, I almost call this a pristine process. Like it wasn't as pristine, it wasn't as refined, but I had been through this coaching program. And then once I got to a point where I was doing pretty well, I went into like their next level program, which helped me hire a virtual assistant, get the coach on board, and set myself up to scale. But I was still running into the same issue of low quality clients. I'm like, I don't want to scale this business with all these low quality clients. Like I don't really know what to do. And so what I actually did is I went on YouTube and searched how to get high quality clients, fitness clients from LinkedIn. And
Sure.
obviously Sameem's YouTube was the first, because there's not much content on this, right? Not a
Yeah,
lot of people know about this.
for sure.
And so Sameem, it was Molly's testimonial and then your testimonial actually that
Sure.
came up first. And so I watched those two, and I wasn't ready to commit to a program like this at the time. And so I just kept watching Sameem's content and I got put into the world of Fitness Business Mentor, so I'm always seeing the content, and yeah, eventually I pulled the trigger, and glad I did.
As you pulled that trigger, what's been the biggest thing in the last 3 months that has helped move the needle to taking your business from a good business that you've started, but kind of capping out at this quality and the ability to charge anymore, to now coming in and this week getting a paid in full for 15K? What's been that thing that's moved the needle the most for you in these last 3 months?
That's a loaded question because it really is everything,
Sure.
right? It's like I had the foundational skills, I have the belief in myself, I have all of those things. What I was missing was, for one, LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn is first and foremost the most essential part of this. Um, because what we're doing is we're just stocking the pond with our exact ideal client, which is unheard of with any other social media platform. We're literally just constantly making connections with our exact ideal client. So LinkedIn, first and foremost, and learning how to fill my audience with nothing but ideal clients, and then how to position myself in my profile to make sure that these people view me as authority, and then how to specifically create the content that's going to speak to them. And obviously, the more experience you get, the more conversation. Like, I'm a few months in now, so the more conversations I'm having, the more I realize the issues that these people are having. And so it's just really about learning how to speak to their problems and how to solve their problems, and also position myself as an authority. And like, this is what I told a friend, a fellow coach yesterday. From the moment that these people come across our profile to the moment we pitch the price, what you guys have taught us to do is to completely eliminate any objections that they may have about maybe another program is the best option, maybe another nutrition and training approach is the best option. We let them know that our program is the program for them. So we're smashing any objections about nutrition and training. We're also shifting their beliefs about themselves and about the limiting factors of their lifestyle, because a lot of these people are, busy, high stress, travel a lot. So we're shifting their beliefs. So we're smashing the objections with making sure that our program is the best. We're shifting their beliefs and helping them overcome limiting beliefs. And we're priming them to let them know that this is a premium program and it is a legitimate investment in themselves, and it's absolutely going to be worth it. And the value matches the investment. That's what everything is. From the moment they come across our page to the moment we drop the price, that's what all of it is. And now that I've done it, I can like fully see that, and I just want more now. I just want to keep having more opportunities to get people in our program and truly serve them to the best of our ability.
One of the things that you hit on and we hear all the time is the difference in the quality of clients. Obviously, without giving any personal information of your new client that you brought on, tell us a little bit about like how you guys came across, what he does, how he ended up paying you in full. Like, just give a little bit of glimpse of the type of client that you were able to land this week.
Yeah,
In this last few days.
this guy is a serial entrepreneur. He's bought and sold, or scaled and sold, many businesses for, I'm not going to say the exact amount, but it's an insane amount of money that most people couldn't even fathom that he sold his businesses for. And he still now is in the process of scaling seven companies at the same time. So he's the CEO of 7 companies right now. And he's a leader in his space. He's a keynote speaker. He literally was at a speaking event yesterday, so we couldn't do our onboarding call until today.
Sure.
And yeah, he was ready. He was completely ready to just drop 15K and go all in on himself. There was no questions asked, no objections. And yeah, and I'm going to over deliver. I'm going to give him exactly what he's looking for. I'm going to make true on all the promises, because that's what I do. That's the type of coach I am. That's the type of person I am. And when that happens, he's gonna bring me other clients just like him, right?
Sure.
He's gonna bring us other people who are just as committed, just as invested. And for him to just drop 15K at once, for one, it just goes to show how powerful all of this is, the whole marketing and sales process. And also to show that these types of people have that type of money, right? And I was telling you this yesterday, or right before our sales call, we met. And so just a sidebar, something else that's really beneficial with Fitness Business Mentor is like, you are legitimately there every step of the way. Like
Yep.
every single step of the way, you've been there to support me. Right before the sales call, you helped me pre-frame the sales call and like create the roadmap. I could have done it on my own. It's not that I can't do it on my own, but like just having you there to go through it and then to help me out with it, like,
Yeah.
and just hype me up a little right before, right? Like you
Yep.
told me, like these types of people talk in different numbers, like they add zeros to their conversations.
Yeah.
And when making the investment in Fitness Business Mentor made me realize, and it gave me the belief that that's also the numbers that I speak in. This is also the level that I play the game at. This is also what my services are worth. That I provide a premium service to the most successful and premium people themselves. So of course I'm going to be speaking in the same level of zeros. And so that belief combined with having the right client or the right potential client
Yeah.
made it a seamless sale when I dropped the price.
Good. I appreciate you sharing that, and that quality of client is just so important for your quality of life too. They're going to be great clients. They're going to be people that are going to be coming through who are amazing testimonials, seeing your whole process through. That you're not having to handhold or having to bother to get their next payment. They're in. They're sold.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
I'm excited for the first time in a little while. I hate to say this, but for the first time in a little while, I am very excited to be working with this guy because I
yeah.
just know he's going to follow through,
Yep.
and we're going to be a great pair.
You mentioned that you found business mentors, took a little bit of time to kind of finally reach out. If you were to rewind back like 3, 4 months ago when you originally started to someone who was maybe watching and doing the same thing that you were for a little while, figuring out, is this for me? Is this not for me? What would you tell those people?
I would tell them to do it. So just to clarify, I knew it was for me. I
Sure.
absolutely knew it was for me. I was just making a move from Houston to San Diego, and I knew I had to get some things squared away first. I would have signed up in the spot. I knew it was for me. And so, yeah, I was 100% convinced and sold that this is the right process and the right program. And to anybody watching this right now who's like, like I don't know about this, or like maybe it's too much, like, they're teaching premium to charge premium, so they're probably charging premium, right? Because I immediately put two and two together. I was like, okay, if they're teaching us to charge premium, they're going to be charging a premium. Like
Yeah.
it just makes sense, right? And I was prepared for it, and it's the best move you could ever make for yourself if you see yourself as a high quality coach and you view yourself as somebody who can deliver results for people. And even if you maybe have a bit of a limiting belief of like, oh, I don't know if I can like coach CEOs, I don't know if I can charge that much. Maybe you're not as experienced as me, right? Maybe you haven't built that belief in yourself up yet. There's people in the program who aren't as experienced as me, and
Absolutely.
they're building the belief up as they go, and they're getting the confidence, they're getting the reps in. And so it was the best choice I ever made. It was stressful in the very beginning, of course, but they say pressure makes diamonds. And if you want to grow in life and if you have a vision that you've casted for yourself or that the universe has given you, that God has given you, whatever your beliefs are, if you have a vision for your life, you have to realize that you're going to be uncomfortable in pursuit of that vision.
Love
What
it.
that discomfort looks like is going to be different for each individual, of course. Just like the guy who just signed up for my program, the money means nothing to him. That 15,000 was irrelevant to him. Not irrelevant. It's enough to make him
Got some
care.
skin in the game.
But yeah, but it's not do or die money for him. So the discomfort is going to look different for him, where he's going to have to, step his game up in fitness and be more prepared and be more diligent. And the discomfort for people coming into Fitness Business Mentor, it's going to look different for each and every individual. But if you want to get to the level that you've envisioned for yourself, you have to be uncomfortable. You have to take risk, and you have to be willing to go all in on yourself. There's been times where I've pulled probably a handful of all-nighters in the last 3 months to
Yeah.
just get as much done as possible to make sure that when I had the opportunity again to get on a sales call, that the process was bulletproof and that all the pre-framing videos were complete and that everything that I needed to have done was done to give myself the highest potential of signing this client and, being able to have the opportunity to deliver him results. And so you've got to get uncomfortable. And if you're afraid to be uncomfortable and you're afraid to take risk, you know, how on earth are you ever going to get to the point where you can charge 15,000 for a year training package? If you don't have the belief in yourself that you can stomach the discomfort of growth, then, maybe you'll never get there. So I recommend taking the risk and going all in on yourself. I have no regrets, even when things were the hardest for me in the last few months. And some of my close friends and people that are kind of in this industry were like, you sure that was the right move? I'm like, you're fucking right, it was the right move. I have zero doubts. Like,
Yeah.
just watch, just wait. Just wait. And I also made some mistakes. Let's also clarify too. I made some mistakes. I got too overactive on LinkedIn, kind of out of like, I got a little carried away and
Yeah.
did things
There's
that
some things we had to work
yeah,
through early on that slowed
yeah.
the process a little bit.
I did some things that y'all didn't necessarily tell me to do, and I got restricted from LinkedIn for 2 weeks, and it was completely my fault. It wasn't anything you guys told me to do. It was
Yep.
completely my fault. And so I also got set back 2 weeks. And so this could have happened sooner if I would have not had that setback that I put upon myself by
For
trying
sure.
to be overly aggressive and, do too much.
Yeah.
And so the point I'm trying to make is, hands down, this is the best choice I could have made for my business and the vision that I have for myself, because a $15,000 month or a $20,000 month, even $30,000 month, this is not my vision. This is just the very beginning of everything for me. I have
Absolutely.
a very big vision for the impact that I want my coaching brand to have, and this is the vehicle to do it. This is the type of offer that's going to allow me to do that. And so I have zero regrets. And I promise, if you're the type of person who's willing to work, and you're the type of person who's willing to put everything on the line and do what needs to be done and be coachable and put your ego to the side and just admit that, fitness business mentor Jeremy, Samim, and whoever else ends up on the team in the future, they know what's best for you, and you just need to do what they tell you to do. Be coachable, be open-minded. There's no way you won't succeed. The timeline may be different. You might get a high ticket sale in a month. It might take 4 or 5 months. It doesn't matter. The end result is guaranteed as long as you're willing to do those things.
Yeah, man, we're so jacked, and I mean, me being a close part of working with you, you've got some crazy things coming for you. So this is definitely like the first drop in the bucket. But I appreciate you sharing the story just with this first client coming in this last week. So, like I said, stay tuned, man. We've got a lot of good things coming from you in store. But thanks for sharing this little bit of background here today.
No problem. I'm grateful to do it. I've been telling all my coaching friends
Good,
about this program. So
awesome, awesome.